Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Today we're going to be working on a Redux, the preliminary stream of Morons with Pedigrees, Silicon Steel. And this is going to be a weird one. Morons with Pedigrees was perhaps one of the stranger games I ever had the displeasure of writing. Mostly down to the fact that I went in there with one singular thought in mind. How do you make a game that is entirely social focused? And it was a challenge because how do you build something around that basic concept of putting a mechanical bite on social interaction, which is normally considered by many to be anathema? You don't do that. Mechanics in social situations do not go together. They are peanut butter and nails. However, what would you do? What would a game look like if it was built from the ground up to do that? And that was my intention with Morons with Pedigrees, partially based off of when I did watch. It was the Great on Hulu, and that kind of sparked that idea. It's a little bit of a lighter game. I kind of touted around as being Jane Autism Simulator, just due to the fact that I encourage people to be really stupid in it because, well, you're a bunch of aristocratic assholes with absolutely no sense of right or wrong. But it did turn out to be an odd duck, and we're also here's the catch. What the majority of this is really going to be is transferring some of the mechanics from Petals in the Wind for Yuri Jam 2020, which I still got cut from, which I'm still hilarious. And we're going to be implementing some of the concepts from this game into Morons with Pedigrees. And I think we can probably get things to work nicely together. Maybe not. I don't know yet. Mostly because of the nature of the game. Oh yeah, here's the Patreon things, which I should really put in all my other games. I don't know why I'm not. So today we're going to be going through here. This game is actually only 19 pages long. Its sequel, its sister game, is 24 pages long, to give you an idea of the extent that I changed things. This isn't a very big game, but I quickly discovered that you can't make this very big because there is just a lot of stuff to social interactions. And you can make things very complicated or you can make things very easy. And I chose to go with the complicated route because I have no sense of right or wrong. So let's go. I actually probably rewrite the preface. And that also means, let's see. So we want to go down to, yeah, this was back in the day. This was way back in old Notepad TM. Let's see. Petals in the Wind is played with a set of D20s, preferably 3 per players, each 5 players, storytelling, appreciation, relationship, and dramas that come with shoujo josei fiction. The character attempts to perform an action. The character will roll against one of their seasons. D20. Oh yeah, I changed from Petals in the Wind. I changed it to seasons, while this one it was based off the humors. Let's see. Character rolls a 1d20 if rolling. probably do 1d20 if rolling against their humor. I can probably clean this up a bit. Probably clean that up. Two characters are in opposition to each other, both will attempt to roll against with their humor. Yep, this can clean it up. This is going to be one of those games you can probably get done in one episode. You just rip through it. So, let's see. At any point... From Hokkaido of the Kyushu, Born of the Purple. Each class of society. Each class has this expectation of different approaches to their life. Characters born into a royal line being blue blood, while the character may or may not be a direct member of the royal family. Actually, we can probably... possibly change the name of characters. Landholders, certain expectations of them. Yeah, with this one, which ones I add? Zaibatsu families and bumpkins. Technically, we also had teachers in this one who played a different role. I guess that kind of makes up for the clergy. You know what we can probably add? Maybe we can add more social classes. I'll see what I can find on that. Maybe I can find more, maybe I can't. Let's see. Little wage education. Being low class, while they lack social standing directly influencing their connection to common man makes them valuable assets and common sense. This character is a servant to an individual of higher authority. And cloth. In their life, the glory of God is ever vigilant gaze upon the world. All some clergymen. Actually, I can probably clean up clergy. Clean up the wording there. That's really all I can do. Vocations. What I can actually do is I probably clean this entire section up a little bit, make it a little bit nicer to read. Well, let's see. Characters are members of society, and as such, they have a career to adhere to and reflect their skills and abilities. There are many careers available in masses. Some are simply more strict than others. Rich or poor, there are boundaries to everything. Royal bureaucrat as a princeling is able to command entire divisions of the government well, while a servant bureaucrat is condemned to a small office pushing papers. I can probably write out each one. A bit more nuance, which does academic progress, characters, students, and such, degree of value. Possibly add a That might not be a terrible idea, because the idea in Petals in the Wind was that you're gaining more. You're always constantly learning things. All of these are, kind of the best way to word it is like all of these are the classes. Effectively, you're taking things like agriculture, bureaucracy, business, education. You're learning things. You are going to teach things. And that's why the teacher is such a weird role in that, because they can take the role of anything. They can have any of these. But the role is also incredibly different. As a member of a major Zaibatsu family, you're kind of more you're high society, but not nearly as high as aristocrat as royalty. But you're allowed to go into things like bureaucracy, business, but you can't really go into things like entertainment. That's not expected of you. You're not expected to learn that. You're not expected to be good at it. Things like finance is really important, but people like bumpkins and servants and aren't really supposed to know these things. Probably, I think, what was the most restricted one? I think the most restricted one was... I believe it was royalty and aristocrat. They have pretty similar ones, except the aristocrat can actually go into education, and royalty can go into religious services. Yeah, as characters advance, they gain additional specialties, which they are particularly skilled in, allowing a character to become who they want to be in the education that is appropriate. Okay. Hi, home. I can clean, cleansing. 4 humors: black blood, black bile, phlegm, and yellow bile. Personality, skill, and temperament. A person's humor reflects their innate abilities to perform. Excess or deficiency of humor is a guaranteed way to force a person to act irrationally. The key reason women act as such. When determining the character's humor, roll 1d20 for each of the 4 humors. That's character's amount. 10 being perfectly balanced. Medical techniques to increase them by acting in a method reminiscent of the humor. And then, how did I handle this with seasons? Yeah. This was actually a pain in the ass to do, by the way. Fun fact. This entire section with the characters. Oh, God. Let's see, yellow bile assigned humor, which is to give characters a little bit more attributes. Let me use the assigned humor as matched with one humor is at 15, one is at 5, and the other 2 are at 10. The other characters redistribute 5 points among any of the humors. For example, I have 15 blood, 10 black bile, 5 phlegm, 10 yellow bile. Should be by 5 points, look like 17, 12, or 10. And this is the important part. This is where things get a little bit wacky. So we have the main character. No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this shit right here. Except I'm also going to select every single part of it and paint it blood red, because this shit needs to get integrated. Because one of the major things about this is that you yourself are not the main character. The players are not the main focal point of the story. And the reason I chose that was because people... How do I word this? Here's my co-host, by the way, my squeaky-ass chair. People like role-playing. People like getting into character. People enjoy that. However, like being told to read a book in school, when you're said, okay, time to role-play now, people shut down. People stop doing that. However, if you have like a centralized character, where you know right off the bat, this is the main character, there is an incentive to talk to them. There is an incentive to do things with them. They are a centralized individual. You suddenly have a reason to do it. You want to talk to them. You want to interact with them. You get annoyed when your friend interacts with them because you want to do that. You are the one who's actively going out of their way to have conversations with them. That's the point of the main character. They are a storyteller-controlled character who is the focal point of the story. But, like in any good story, it's the ensemble that makes it. Now, one of my clearest examples that I actually used was someone has been murdered. Nobody knows who did it, what happened. The main character is not the person who got murdered, that's the main suspect. Oh no, the murdered man's wife has inherited everything. What happens? Who does what? What are people doing? Maybe when the characters are the murderer, maybe everyone's suspecting that someone else is the murderer. Maybe you want to get with the wife. Maybe you want to protect the wife. Maybe you kind of want to kill the wife too, so you inherit everything. That's where the spice comes in. That's where the bite comes in. That's where the game comes in. And that's how this game works. However, obviously, I need to change it because Battles in the Wind took place at Gakko Academy, which... What was Gakko Academy again? That was a reference to something. What was the Gakko? Oh yeah, it was school. That was it. I forgot. I thought it was cheeky. Gakko Academy is quite literally saying school academy because I am incredibly smart and very funny, and I should never be trusted to name anything. This is a known fact, and like that is a partial reason why I want to build this little community up. Fun fact is just so I can like go to people and be like, what do I call this? Names, please. Just give the names. That's all I'm demanding of you. So, let's see. We have the ensemble. Gives relationship to relevant. The character rolls an additional 1d20. Yeah, and this is kind of where the idea comes in with the main character. Like, it was there, but it wasn't, like, really addressed as well as it needed to be. Yeah, so born to a wealthy rural family of aristocrats, Thomas is destined to be military at a young age with a quick mind and strong body. Rise above his peers and become a colonel before retiring back to his home estate. With the passing of his closest friend, he has been entrusted to guide and nurture his young son to become a great man. Fixu. You'll probably You can probably add some like JTRPG bullshit to this. How do I handle that? Detailed relationships. I can probably add in this. Kata Shinobu. So we need to put this right here. And of course we're going to have to paint the, you guessed right, everyone, we need to paint it red. Because it needs to get fixed completely. Sometimes you have to sacrifice people to say otherwise. Tend to. I could probably expand on this section pretty extensively. I was on a time limit when I was writing Petals, so... actually, do I have that rule? No, I don't have the clicks rule. Probably put the clicks rule. Where did I put the clicks rule? Hook that out there, put it here. Put it something like this, and then put types of relationships on its own page. Because the idea behind clicks was effectively like the estates. That was the idea. You have these large groups of people, and you have the face of it, and they kind of represent it. So a clique, for example, may be the... How do I want to word this? Well, okay, let's say one of the estates is the church. The church is an estate. It is a very large faction that a lot of people can belong to in various ways. But the church is being represented by, you know, Father John. Father John is the face of the church in the world. And his kind of perspective on things kind of muddles things. So yeah, you want to portray the church as like, oh, the church is a noble institution, but is kind of unfortunately been drawn away from the little politicking of courts. Then portray Father John as someone who's never really there when you need him, but he'll show up when, you know, when he'll always be around, but he'll never be there when you need him. You know, contrasting, say, the military, let's say the 5th Brigade. 5th Brigade's face may be Colonel Bob. Colonel Bob is a bastard. He is a horrible human being, but he gets shit done. He's very much out for himself, and and the rest of the brigade kind of is portrayed like that. They're self-serving bastards who follow him to hell and back. That's the point. That's the overall aesthetic of it. It's, I am part of a larger group, but I represent that group. Now, originally I didn't put it, but right here, any member of the ensemble may opt to become the face of the clique. Remember, by reducing plot power by 1. So someone could play Colonel Bob. Someone could play Father John. They become the face. Desired ending. Goal to main character to do. The part of it is posed. Some character variety one goal. Important one is the desired ending. Now this is Wakata. So yeah, we have Tomas. Actually with Henry, please let her be by his side, but what? reaching desired ending. So desired ending, but those in character influence the ensemble main character. The character with three methods gain plot power, inducing other plots, duels, and influence. Other members of the ensemble cutting deals with their enemies to introduce entirely new characters to the fold. This does mean that they'll need to spend their own plot power to begin introducing more characters into the web. I need something to get more plot power. More members of the conspiracy obviously mean more individuals fully willing and able to betray the cause. Certain plots will crush certain numbers. Employees in another suit without access to the kitchen, so a servant or a cook is needed to be a part of the plot. The plot is mass and a plot power to be enacted. Duels. Pistol is drawn. Battle its resource to power two members of the ensemble. While others are simply bits, or attempts to win over. There lies along the plot power to go against one another. Whoever shoots first and spends the most power wins. However, duel and influences may engage in heated debates. This contested duel, both characters will need to roll with their phlegm to oppose one another. The victor changing the opinion of the other, claiming more high ground. Characters will always have to bet something of value. Something of actually equal value. Influence. Do I? The hell's this one doing here? I don't know what this one is for, so I'm making it go away. Oh yeah, the sabotage plot. I'm just gonna put the sabotage in. Yeah, because that is a very valid tactic, and I want it to be a very valid tactic of, hey, I'm not actually fully on board with this plot, but I've been invited into it. Can I sabotage it? And the answer is yes, you can. And if you do manage to sabotage it, you do get something out of it. That was the big idea, because I needed more ways to generate plot power, and probably going to have to generate more plot power. Gonna need something for plot power in general. I don't know how to build it, but influence. I should actually add the concept of the non-present characters. And by that, I mean I'm going to have to reduce it down to very tiny, and I'm going to put it in red. The concept of the non-present characters is that there are people who are not involved in the story directly, but are still important. My brother is at war, and that is why I am sad. He is a non-present character. He can still influence them. They are away. They are distant. However, they are still a part of the story. And they may show up later, making a dramatic appearance. We've all seen the telenovelas where someone being like, ah, yes, Uncle Rico, he's so fantastic and wonderful, and we love him. 3 seasons later, we've never seen Uncle Rico, but we know all about him. And then he shows up for a season, like, aha, it's me, Uncle Rico. And everyone's like, oh my god, we've heard so much about you. And then he leaves. That is what non-present characters are supposed to be like. Oh wow, look at this, individual who's away. Yeah, so I need to change what it is there. Let's see, growth and loss of plot. Let's see. Difficulty of plot. Influencing a character, 1 minus power rounding down. Yeah, I need a solid way of regaining plot power. Okay. Is there anything else here? Not really. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I think I have a good idea of where things need to go. A lot of cleaning, a lot of just fixing little things. All right. I think I'm gonna probably end it there. I know this wasn't like a really long stream, only about 40 minutes, but it didn't need to be a long stream. Because this is not a very big game to fix, actually. There's a lot of integrating and doing like little minor cleaning. But really, it's a game. It's a small game. And that's on purpose. So let me see. Oh yeah, I should actually tell people what's the Jammerino, what's the plan. So let's see, where is it? Things Notepad add-on wants to do. Let's see, where are we? Okay, so our current schedule is, yeah, this is gonna be 1 episode. So the current schedule is as follows. It's going to be Morons with Pedigrees, Silk and Steel. We're going to move on to Eagles and Rifles, which, oh boy, people have been really split on this one, and it is very funny. It is very funny, in fact, mostly because there are so many different things with it. Like, half the people I've asked, it's like, we want Flintlock fantasy. We want this fantasy, Flintlocky. And others are like, nope, stick it historical. So probably the goal is I'm gonna have to do a strange reel setting. I don't quite know how I want to do that yet. I've already done one strange reel for Denyakoviet, but this one's gonna be a little bit odd, mostly just due to the nature of the game. And I have to do effectively a Napoleonic scale world with all the additional issues with it. So I might poke around, see what I can find. Soldat Sans Identité, Refuse to Repeat. That's just going to be another Redux stream. That's going to be another very long and exciting one. Ogasan's Big Happy Family. That one I know how to do. I know what I'm going to do with it. It's just a lot, just kind of getting there at that point. And Shadowrun for Babies. I need people to give me better ideas what they want from Shadowrun for Babies. Because there's a lot of it. And I have a few ideas, but it's going to be a game of, what do the people want? Rise up, my brothers and sisters. Tell me what the hell you actually want from Shadowrun without telling me just run it in another system. After that, we have Legally Distinct Exalted. You may be wondering, Notepad, what happened to a Litany of Creation? Well, Litany of Creation kind of got skull-fucked. Mostly because Exalted Essence is coming out soon, which has been a lot sooner than I thought, because Exalted Essence has been coming out for the past soon for a long time now. But I looked over some of the pre-release stuff, and I'm like, oh, this looks exactly like what I was going to do. So, I am instead going to cut it apart and make a legally distinct Exalted variant. Probably more in the vein of Anima, because I have no creativity and I must scream. So, any suggestions there, I am more than willing to take. So, thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anon, and this was Morons with Pedigrees. God. Yingling Black and Tans Porter is really damn good, by the way. Everyone should drink it. Alright. I am, as they say, away.